Hello! So today I'm training 1000 AI worms how to attack the player. My game, Bonk Universe, is developing quite well. It feels pretty optimized now, it has very expansive worlds. It's just missing entities. Now a huge inspiration for this game is Terraria. One of the simplest mobs in Terraria is the worm. It can go through blocks, it has a direction, and it just goes that way. Now, I could just code a normal worm AI where they all behave the same, but I wanted to make use of AI, so I can switch between brains and the best survives. Now, the best language for training an AI is Python, with all of its many different resources, which is why I used Java. Now, I tried to find a neural network library for Java, and I found one, but I forgot how to use it, so I just built my own. This was a bad idea, but so this is a worm. It's very simple, so let's see how they do. So, here are our first bunch of 1000 worms. They're all completely random, and they have no idea what they're doing. And they're all dead. So let's pause it here. We now have this cool graph. So, there's a whole bunch of different species at the bottom, and on the top, we have the winning neural net. The closest worm to me was species 8, or at least one of the worms in species 8, and this is its brain. It has the inputs on the left and the outputs on the right. It's able to see the direction of the player, the distance to the player, and if it's in the ground or the air. It does a whole bunch of magic number stuff in the middle, and it has an output. You can turn left, right, up, down, or it can attack. And attacking just means going faster by a lot. Up and down also mean fast and slow. So each generation of worm has 12 seconds to prove its worth and get as close to me as possible. The worms that get closest to me are the ones that survive. 50% will die every single generation. Every generation, they choose a random spawn position, so there they chose the sky. This way they don't go to some random point from repetition. And hey, looks like we have a smart worm. Look at him go. He will survive, while the further ones away will probably die. So here's a graph of all of that time we just went through. So as the generations go on, we still have a lot of species left alive and fighting for best place. Some of the brains, like species 20, are very complicated, while species 4 is very simple. The higher on the graph means more brain cells, so each species is counted based on the amount of neurons in the center, so just count the white dots. So we have the P brains down at the bottom, with species 3 being the smallest right now, and at the top it looks like species 20 or maybe even 21 is the biggest brains. So let's see how they evolve. So it looks like we already have a few worms that understand that going towards me is the right direction. We can see these two are pretty close to me, but they have to be faster than that. Looking back at the graph, we can see some species taking over. A lot of the variety is dying out as the brains get smarter. It looks like species 5 currently has a majority, being at 450, now 613 members. The other species need to compete or else they'll die out. Will species 5 get a majority and take over the world? Although it does look like species 14 is hanging on there. Okay, so we see a lot of them starting to orbit around me, while some of the dumb ones are still doing random circles quite far away, because they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, so now most of the worms have a pretty good sense of where they should be going. And the ones that don't die pretty quickly. Let's look at the graph again. It looks like Species 14 put up a pretty good fight, but in the end, Species 5 took over. We can actually see a specimen of 14 here. They have a much more complicated brain pattern, but sometimes simplicity is the best. Now, every mutation, a surviving worm will keep an identical clone of itself, but also gets a slightly mutated child. So you can see by going through a lot of these, they each have their own slight mutations, where some have stronger green, which is positive, and some have slightly stronger red, which is negative. Also, 1 every 100 worms will have a chance to change their species by either growing or losing a brain cell. So now that the worms are smart enough, I can start moving, and they will successfully start chasing me around. Come here, worms. Now, in a real situation, I would want faster worms, but currently we have a wall of worm. And I'm not sure why they don't like going fast, but maybe it's too evolutionarily unstable, but I'm not sure. Look at them go. So once I'm happy with the brain patterns of the worms, because they are mostly chasing me, I can save the best 20 by using the save brains next command. And this will save the top 20 of the next generation. So yes, as we can see in the brains folder, we have the top 20 best worms. And from here, when I spawn an actual worm, it can pick a random brain file to use. So this way, every worm is unique. So yeah, this is the end. This seems to be a pretty stable pattern of having 5 brain cells in the middle, and it changes every once in a while, but the strategy is the same. So now that I'm on an actual world, I can spawn a worm, except I forget what the command is for it. Well, apparently my command is still having some issues, but eventually I can use it for maybe some more scary looking areas. Oh, also, now that I found it, I made this cool biome called the Cosmic Flats. It has this cool effect, and so I copied it and used it in my greedy meshing shadows. So you can see the squares are optimized to be drawing as few as possible. So this is what that effect looks like on it. I turned it into my error shader just because I thought it looked cool. So yeah, I'll just run it one more time, just to show that every single time is different. Wait, I got an idea. Okay, halfway through running this, I got a cool idea. But first of all, this time it looks like species 13 is the dominant species. It was a pretty strong battle, but once again I missed it. Let me just change some code real quick and set their minimum speed to, I don't know, 3.5? That should be fun. Oh, there they are. And there they go. Maybe I made this too fast. I'll set it down to 1.5. Actually, no, 1.85. Let's see how that goes. There they are. I think that's more reasonable. The trade-off to moving fast is that they can turn slower when they're moving fast. So the goal was for them to change speed over time, but apparently that's not going all the best. Looks like 16 and 18 are doing pretty good for being so fast. Now I could start tweaking the fitness function to make them remember where they've been and prioritize going straight through the player, but doing that is pretty difficult. So maybe I'll do that for the next AI that I train. Dude, imagine once I have survival mode, like needing to fight these off. This would get so difficult so fast. It's gonna be so fun. Yeah, like how are you supposed to fight that? What you gonna do when they come for you? Oh my god. Yeah, so, oh wow. Species 19 with the complete takeover. Look at all these species that went extinct. Well, yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll make another video about Bonk Universe pretty soon. I want to make a video showcasing my data pack creator, which is coming soon. And I also plan on making an alpha release of the game. So if you want to play the game early, make sure to join my Discord. Oh, here they come. Oh my god. And yeah, I have a whole bunch of other videos planned to come soon. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hi, Smudge. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.